Hey yo, what's up guys? I'm back doing a video about nothing. Now let's just see what I want to talk about today. Let's see what's bubbling into my head or whatever I want to get off my chest. If you see me scratching a lot, excuse me, the mosquitoes been tearing my ass up. I got one right here, a big one right here, and one right here. They just own me today. You know, it's like 80 degrees. This is July 5th. The day after the holiday. It's still nice here in Cleveland, and keep in mind I'm in Cleveland and I'm near the lake, so excuse me, we have our mosquitoes out here. They bite. So what's on my mind today? So I was on Twitter today, and one of the trends that's linked to our city is, well, one of the trends, it was Cleveland Rocks. It was hashtag Cleveland Rocks. And the reason Cleveland Rocks was hashtag is because we're going through a time where the Redskins is going through a possible name change because there's been pressure for them to change their Native American derogatory slur name to a typical sports name. So it's been a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Hesitancy to change it for years and years and years. It's been going on for years. Every year somebody's protesting against the name of the Redskins. Some Native Americans think it honors them. Some Native Americans think that they're opposed to it. And the way I think right now is, I don't care if it's 100 people compared to 100,000 people. If 100 people think it's derogatory and think it's a horrible word, you gotta listen to the argument. So I'm sick of the whole, well, it don't bother us, because you're not the one that's affected. But the one that's affected, that's the most important voice you need to listen to. So let's pay attention to that. So anyway, it came full circle to the Cleveland Indians. Florida State went through it. St. John's went through it. St. John's Redmen. They changed their name to Red Storm. Florida State Seminoles changed how they did things. The white dude dressed up in all the paint, dressed up like a Native American, you don't do that shit no more because it ain't allowed. And so they made some changes. Like I said, the Redmen, I want to say the Miami, Ohio Red Hawks or something like that. I think they changed their name too. I have to do more research on it. Right now, this is just a random video, so don't fact check me right now. Hit me in the comments with some fact checks, and I'm gonna fact check myself, but it's just a random, off the cuff video. So anyway, it came full circle back to Cleveland Indians. So this city is kind of divided because they holding on to the tradition of Indians, and I get it, man. I grew up an Indians. I'm a casual baseball fan, so I'm being honest. I'm a casual baseball fan. Big time Cavs fan. Big time Browns fan. I'm just not a baseball dude. But since we have a baseball team in our city, I support it. But as far as the name goes, the colors, I grew up with the red, white, and blue Cleveland Indians with the big red face Chief Wahoo on there. As a kid, I thought like a kid. But as an adult, I thought like an immature adult. As I became more mature adult, I thought more reasonably, to where it's like, okay, if somebody's not happy with it and they want to talk up change, I have to go along with the flow. Because for one, I'm not the ethnic group that's really being attacked. Two, I am from an ethnic group that's usually number one on being attacked. So I totally can empathize and sympathize and understand it in totality. So if a group don't like it, even if it's a small percentage, or even if it's 50%, or even if it's 75%, I get it. I totally get it. If they want to change it, if they want it to be changed, that's on them to want it to be changed. Because when you got a group of billionaires or colonizers just slap a name on your whole ethnicity or your group or your race, and then you have to live by a name that another group of people called you, and now they name teams after you. They add these cartoon caricatures of, making stereotypical images of what you might perceive to be, big old buck teeth and big old red ass faces and big old smiles and everything's happy here. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a bunch of BS. So, me personally, I would look at that and be pissed. But I'm not Native American. But do I get it? I get it. Well, I might be Native American, but that's another video. Stay tuned for that. Let's drop a little, what you call that? A little Easter egg on it. Anyway. So, white folks, yes, I'm saying white folks, they need to read more and two, learn how to separate themselves from colonial bullshit, traditionalism, of holding on to a dated history, to a dated past. Some things you got to remove yourself away from. Okay, we give y'all the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, all the other shit, which I think need to be updated. But some of those things are set in stone, and white folks refuse to change it. When it comes to naming these teams and having derogatory terms from, that's shit that we can change. And if you want to stop watching baseball because of that, it says a lot of where your mental is, because it's like, dude, the game's still gonna be the same. You still gonna have the same players. It's in the same city, and then, okay, really, people still got fireworks. But anyway, a name change is like the easiest thing that the owners can do to smooth over some things. Right now, we living through a hotbed of social issues right now, and if you can change a name to put a band-aid on some of this shit, you got to do it, because now we all in our feelings. We all emotional right now. So you know what? Redskins would offend me. A big-ass Chief Wahoo would offend me. I'm from Cleveland. I know all about Chief Wahoo. But the Wahoo's just going to be mad. Like, we phased out Chief Wahoo. A lot of people pissed about that. Primarily white folks. You know why? Because they're not offended by it. A lot of them are quick to say, well, damn, I wouldn't be offended if it was a white guy on there. Well, that's you. You wasn't the oppressed people at that time. You feel what I'm saying? So, don't speak out of turn. If these folks don't like it, let it be. And it's up to your ownership to honor that, or at least listen to the conversation. The conversation's been out there. Some people have been heard, and now we're going after this whole George Floyd aftermath. So everybody right now, social injustice is a hotbed right now. So every subject getting tapped, everything, team names, police brutality, what the fuck else? Healthcare, all that stuff that affects quote unquote minorities. I don't like that term. I don't consider myself a minority by white folks' standards and terms and the way they educated us. They would say black people are a minority. I don't believe that bullshit. In my mind, I'm not a minority. On paper, their paper, I might be a minority. So that's another story, and that's another video. But anyway, the way they treat minorities by their standards is basically unfair. And just to have a team named after a culture's skin tone, even if they consider themselves Redskins, after the fact that you labeled them that is what it is. That's another story. Y'all call us niggas, and we use the word niggas because it's ingrained in our fucking history. We all pretty much conditioned our own bullshit. We conditioned by their bullshit. They're conditioned by their own past bullshit. The Native Americans were conditioned by white Americans' bullshit also. They called y'all Redskins. Some of y'all accepted it. Some of y'all said, fuck that. That's another story. That's another video. Back to the matter at hand. How do I feel about the Indians changing? I grew up with it. What I like is to stay the same and everybody to be saying kumbaya and everything is good. Yeah, in a perfect world, yes, but that's not going to happen. Because I know it's going to be 25%, 35%, 45% of people that's not happy with it. It's going to be 65%, 55%, 45% of people that are happy with it and want to keep things status quo in order to stay in their comfort zone of our American pride, our patriotic history. Everything stays as is. Fuck that. Sometimes it's time for change. If they want to change it, fuck it, change it. Okay, some of the changes, they thought about the Spiders. I don't like that. The Guardians, I don't like that trash. Cleveland Rocks, based off of rock and roll or Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Don't nobody even go to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No, I don't like that bullshit. Cleveland Tribe. Now, does that still stay connected to the whole derogatory Native American thing? The Cleveland Tribe. That's their secondary name. We call them that anyway. That's their nickname, the Tribe. Is the Tribe racist? Depends on who you ask. But I think if you go with the Tribe, that's, kind of really not solving the problem. But Indians is technically not right. Columbus said you guys look like people from India, so we're gonna call you Indians, and they accepted that based on the language and the colonialism that came into their world, to their Native American land, which they probably had another name for it before they decided to call you Indians, before they decided to call this America, but they went with it based on colonialism, being conquered, having your land stolen, your women raped, and your language taken and changed and altered, and your religion being forced on you. But that's another story. So they started saying, okay, we fucking Indians. The fucking bullies said we Indians, so fuck it, I'm Indian. But now it's 2020. You don't have to accept that bullshit. You don't have to accept that bullshit. So white America need to understand that some things just gotta change, like it or love it. Shit's got to change, man. When it comes to certain names, and the Indians that's one that can go either way. Redskins it depends on the Native Americans. If they consider themselves Redskins and if they feel honored by that, so be it. But if the majority of them feel it's a derogatory term, which is listed as a derogatory term or a racist slur, then get rid of it. Because there's plenty of other names you can come up with. You don't have to honor that team with that name. Come up with something else. And that's about all I got as far as Redskins, as far as Indians. But I'm gonna add something else to you that you didn't think about. If we really want to change some names, change the name of the Masters. We're talking about golf now, which they play on large plantations in Augusta, Georgia, and all these beautiful plantations in Florida. Beautiful landscape yards that back in those days were upkept by, you guessed it, black slaves, which they considered caddies. Caddies would walk up these hills and carry the clubs and do everything master told them and keep the grounds work good, and they call America's greatest game back then, while baseball was going on, which is America's game, but golf was the elitist game. Guess who all played? Guess who all was honored at those games? The Masters, the slave masters. That's why to this day I really believe the Masters the Masters is called the Masters because the Masters are the guys who played against each other. They had the plantations, they had the land. Put two and two together. So we're gonna attack any name. We're going after the Masters next. Get rid of that bullshit. Now we'll say this: it used to be called the Masters, and they had changed the name in 90 something. Don't fact check me because it's just a random ass video, random, off the cuff. You can fact check later. Drop it in the comments. Bugs, man, Bugs finally. It's time for me to go in a minute. But they changed the name in the 90s. And guess what they did? They eliminated the from the Masters. So now it's just called Masters. Don't insult my intelligence. But that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching the video about nothing. Stay tuned for the next one. Y'all stay safe.